In this video, we are going to solve a statically determinate structure subjected to wind loading. Our goal here is to determine horizontal and vertical reaction components at wind connections A, B, and C. So this structure is exposed to a uniform normal pressure of 15 kPa on the windward side and a suction pressure of 5 kPa on the leeward side. So looking at this structure, we can see, using our previous knowledge from tributary loading lecture, that this is a one-way slab system, and this shaded area here is exerting its load onto the central arch, which is also our focus arch for this problem. So first of all, to solve this, we need to draw the free body diagram of this structure. We know that there's going to be reaction forces at A and at C. We also know that there's going to be uniform distributed load on the wall and the roof, and also on the leeward side as a suction. Okay, so first of all, let's calculate our distributed load. So we know that 1 kPa is equal to 1 kilonewton meters per square. So 15 kilonewton meters squared times the length of the area where the wind is striking for our tributary loading area. So it's 4 meter. Solving this comes for 60 kilonewton meter, and our uniform distributed load for wall will be 16 kilonewton per meter times the height of the wall. Solving this comes 180 kilonewton. Okay, so that's the roof, and now our roof. That was the wall. Okay, so for roof, we need to find, first of all, our angle, because we just found our distributed load horizontal, but for roof it's going to be whatever our point load is going to be perpendicular to the roof. That means we need to find the roof angle, and so we already know that this roof is symmetrical and height is 3 meters, width is also 3 meters from the center. Therefore it's tan 1 is 45 degrees, so easy peasy there. And so our point load for roof is going to be 180 divided by cos 45. Using simple trigonometry, we get this equation here, and solving for this, we get 254.56 kilonewton. So that's our windward side. Let me just draw it here real quick so that we can visualize. So this is 180, this is 254.56 kilonewton. Okay, and now on the leeward side, same idea. So we have 5 kPa, which is 5 kilonewton meters square, and then 4 is our width, and then this becomes 20 kilonewton per meter, and our 20 kilonewton uniform distributed load times the height of the wall on the leeward side, this becomes 60 kilonewton, and our load for leeward side on the roof will be 60 divided by cos 45, and that comes up to be 84.85 kilonewton. Okay, now we can find our reaction forces. At A and C, we can take moment at either of these directions. So I'm gonna take it at 8. So sum of moments about point A, and we're gonna say counterclockwise as our positive. So our first point is 180, and it's 1.5 meters away, and this is going to be negative. And then our next point is our roof point load, which is going to have both x and y components. So let's do our x component first. So x is going to be negative 254.56 kilonewton times cos 45 degrees times the distance, that is from here all the way to the down. This is 4.5, and we know it is 4.5 because our wall is 3 meters high, and then our point load is halfway through the other 3 meters, that's the gable. So that's 1.5. So adding 3 and 1.5, we get 4.5. Okay, and now our y-axis reaction for the point load, so 254.56 kilonewton times sine 45 times 1.5. Now a point load for section side, so same idea. So we can have, for x-axis, we're going to have negative 84.85 times cos 45 times 4.5, and then for y-axis it's going to be positive 84.85 times sine 45 times 4.5. Then our wall is going to be 60 times 1.5, and then our cy is going to be negative 6 times cy, which is equals to 0, and cx is 0 because it's at same level as the point in terms of x-axis, in terms of y-axis, my bad. Okay, so let's solve this real quick. Solving with it, we get negative 240 kilonewton for cy. This means our assumed direction for the direction for cy is wrong, but we're not going to change it right now. We're just going to keep it as it is. The formula will take care of it. We don't have to worry about this at all. Okay, so now that we have cy, we can take some of the forces in the y direction and look for our value for ay. So we can have positive ay, then we have negative sine 45 times 254.56 kilonewton, and then we can have positive sine 45 84.85, and then we can have negative, and then we have another negative from 240 kilonewton equals to 0. Solving this, we should get we get negative 220 kilonewton. So that means our assumption for ay, direction of ay vector as well, is wrong, but that's not a problem. As long as we keep track of our signs in our equations, we should be fine at the very end. Okay, so now that we have these, we have ay and we have cy. Okay, there is nothing else we can do for now. So let's cut this structure in half or in sections. So we're going to have member AB here, and we're going to solve for its directions. So member AB is going to look something like this. So for AY, we zoomed up as y-axis and x is left to right. So we're going to zoom opposite for B, whatever we zoomed for A, to keep things simple. All right, so let's take a moment at B, because B doesn't have any known value for its directions. So you want to take moment at points where there aren't any information available for, so that you can solve for those easily. Okay, so first of all, we have positive 254.56, and it's, so if we take hypotenuse, you find the value, because this is a triangle, right? So we know this is 3, this is 3. You can take hypotenuse, Pythagoras theorem. We're going to use the Pythagoras theorem to get the hypotenuse and then the midway point. I'm dividing by 2 to get the midway point, and then we have 180, that's 4.5 meters away, and then we have positive AX, that's 6 meters away, and then we have negative AY, but note we also have another negative from our value we found earlier, and that's 3 meters away, equals to 0. So solving for AX now, we get we get 285 kilonewton. Now that we have AX, we can simply sum the forces in X direction and get our value for BX. So BX is going to be negative, then positive 254.56 times cos 45 degrees plus 180, and then negative 285. I just noticed while I was doing this calculation that I missed a negative sign earlier, but there it is. So BX is going to be 254. Positive 75 kilonewtons. So that means, well, for BX, there's a norm of forces in y direction, assuming up as positive. So we have negative by, and then we have negative 254.56 times sine 45, and then positive ay, but we have negative value for ay because remember we took the wrong assumption at the beginning, but that's not an issue as long as we take care of our signs. So solving this, we get negative 300 kilonewton. That again, thus we took the wrong assumption. Otherwise, it would have been the other way. But that's not an issue. Let's continue. Okay, now that we got everything for this section, we can jump over to the next section. So section BC is going to look something like this. Okay, and then we have point load here, outward, point load here, and then we have to make sure that we are using the opposite vectors for B. And then we have our C, which is as follows. Okay, for section BC, we have almost everything. We have C, we already calculated CY, so we are left with just CX. So let's sum the forces in X direction, and we shall have our CX. Okay, so our BX is positive, and we have a positive value as well, and then our point load on the roof is going to be positive 84.85 times cos 45 degrees, and then positive point load on the roof, so on the wall, that's 60 kilonewtons, and then you have negative CX because it's falling the other direction than our assumed positive direction. So solving for these, we get positive 195 kilonewton as our answer. All right, so now we can go back. We got the answers and they are correct, but if we want to make our reaction forces look even better on our free body diagram, we can go back and change the directions of the vectors. So for our CY, the direction will change, and then this will become positive. And then for same thing for our AY, our direction will change for AY, and the value of AY will change to positive as well. And same thing for AX, power value will change, and also the direction vector for AX will change. But this is not a necessary. Your answer is correct even without switching the yang. And then or BY and BX doesn't really matter, but if you do need to, you can always go back. So this will be going down, going up, and then this becomes positive. And there we have it. Like and subscribe for more.